Something different from gardening. We're going back to motorbikes. So I've been wanting one of these for a while. Was it Kx60? Kx60, but yeah, obviously it's not running yet. So I'm going to do a little video. The people who had it before didn't have a clue. They got on it. The lad who I got it, he said these young lads put a new piston in it, fired it up, didn't put two-stroke in it. Of course it was going, they thought, hey, they started ragging tits off it. Guess what happened? Where's the piston gone? Yes. Seized it. Seized its tits off. So, I've been on net and I've got, what is it? It's a 1980, is it 93? Was it 83? 81. 81, sorry. So what would that make it, 38 year old? It's older than I am. But yeah, we're going to give it a bit of TLC, we're going to clean it up. And the lads that got it before, you can see there all the shitty gasket glue. They hadn't looked after it at all. Whacked that around it, just a bodge job. So we're going to do it properly this time. I've ordered all top end kit. New piston, gaskets, little end bearing. So we've got bits for it here. I don't really like getting bikes when someone else has had the fingers in. But on the picture it's whole, and when I went to get it, it was in bits. So not to worry, I've checked all bits are there. So we're just doing it today. Well, Brandon's got a standing knife, he's cleaning all that shit off there. All that gasket glue stuff. Then we're going to give it a good clean up, and then we'll do another video tomorrow. And we should have the piston. Wing, ding, 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 ding. Two-stroke, come on. Ain't it, Brand? Woohoo! Right, we've got the new bits. We've got the old bits. We're going to put it back together now, aren't we, Brand? Well, first we're going to take it a little bit more apart. Going to give it a good clean up, like we said yesterday. Get all this shit off. All this old gasket glue that they put on. Going to give that a clean up. Going to give it all a clean up, and then we're going to start assembling it. Right, what I'm doing here, the barrel, where this is an original barrel off it, and it's got some little scores on it. Not too deep, but just some little scores on it. So we've got some 1200 grit wet and dry paper here, and we're just going to give it a good rub in. Not too much, so we don't want to make the bore bigger, because we've got the original piston for it, so we're just going to give it a smoothing off. So if there's any sharp bits out, so we're just going to give it a smooth off and straight. We'll give the barrel a good clean. We've got the head to go on. This is all the bits, like I say, it come in a bucket of bits. So we're just sorting them all out. There's the old gasket off it, is absolutely knackered. Got it bin. Old piston. Knackered. Ooh, a brand new piston. Look at that, look at that, yes. We're going to clean all this. All these at bolts to put head on and barrel. But as you can see, they've covered in fucking that, was it gasket sealer, aren't they? Got pipes for water cooler, for exhaust, and then we've got the carb, and there's old piston rings. So we're going to give them a clean. We've already done that, give them all a clean up, and then we're going to put it back on. Right, next part, gaskets. We've got these little rubber ones. If you don't know, they're for the exhaust. That's what Brandon's going to do now. They'll go on there, so he's going to take the old ones off them and put them ones on there, Brand. Right. So you get that done, lad. Then these top end gaskets, look. Yes, got the right ones. Ha! And then the green one is for your bottom one, where your head sits, when your barrel sits on the bottom end of the bike. So let's go in there now. Go in there now. Right. Next part. Right, we've put the bottom gasket on. What I've done, I've rubbed a bit of two-stroke around it all. I always do it. You don't have to, but when you put the head on and nip it down, if you need to take the head back off, sometimes it rips the paper, the gasket. So if you put a little bit of two-stroke on it like I have, just rub it around top and bottom, it'll come off no problem. That's if we have any troubles when we need to take the barrel back off. So we've got the apprentice, haven't we, Brandon? Come on then, lad, get it on.
Piston first.
Shit, yeah, piston. Looks like apprentice is telling me now. Right. We need that. We've got the piston. Oh, look at this piston. Look at that. we'll put the rings on. If you notice, where are the rings? The rings are there. If you notice, they've got like a little, there's a gap in the rings, and the gap needs to be on that little, I'll turn it. There. Can't focus in. Oh, yeah, shitty phone. Anyway, there's obviously a gap in the rings, and then there's like a little notch there where my thumb is, and when they nip together, that keeps the rings in place. So, and when you put it in, there's an arrow on top of the piston. That goes to the exhaust port, so the arrow points down. So I'll just put that in, put the small end bearing in there, look. I'm just going to get the piston on and then put the head on. Come on! Brum, brum. Before we put the head on piston, what I'm going to do is get some two-stroke. I'm just going to rub it all in here. And I'm going to put some on the piston so when it goes in it's nice. Nice and lubed up. Lube coated. And just lube everything up with a new piston. Don't want it nipping up, do we? And when I do put when I go to start it, I'm going to put lots and lots of two-stroke in it. I'll show you anyway. And then we're going to run it in by putting it on a barrel or some logs and just taking it out. But we'll get to that in a bit, won't we? Now the tricky part, like I said, there's two little notches there. My phone, I'm going to have to get a different phone or camera or something. There's two little, can't see it. There's two little notches there. And where the piston rings meet, that's where they should be, and it keeps them in place. There's one there and one there. So we have to keep them in place while putting the head on. So right, look at that. The barrel is on. Hold it, Brand. The piston is in. Look, listen to that. Oh. Oh, look at that. So, now, next. Time for the head. Go on, Brandust. We've got the gasket on, haven't we?
Yeah.
And then we've cleaned the bolts up. Look at them, Brand. I've cleaned all them with wire brush and that, so gonna whack them in now. Oh, it's coming together. Head's on. Found a spark plug that fits. I checked it just by putting the HT lead and putting the spark plug on the head and kicking it. We've got a good spark, so now Brandon's on. We've put in a carb on it, and I'm going to go get the pipes for the radiator. So, before we put the carb on, I'm going to clean it just in case. It takes 2 minutes, isn't it? So we'll have a little look inside here, see if there's any muck and shit. It's rather clean. Now what we're going to do is just take the main jet out here and have a little look, see if that's blocked. If not, it can all go back together. Fine, right. So, looks alright. Get it back together. Nearly there. Nearly there. But putting it together, Brandon put clutch on. He said, doesn't work. Look. Our first major hiccup. Clutch cable's knackered. Knackered, but out here, we have a pit bike. And I just bought a new clutch cable for the pit bike. So we're going to take it off that and put it on the KX. Carb, clutch, sorted. Right, tank and plastics. Oh, plastics on, petrol going in. We've done a 50-1 mix and then added more two-stroke. A wee bit more, you know, just to get it, like me stepdad always said. You can always, if you put too much in, it's going to smoke. You need to change your spark plug. If you put too less in, it's going to seize and you need a rebuild. So, too much, especially when we're just running it in, is a bit better. So, right, Problem number 2, put petrol in it, it's pissing out with the carb. Coming out overflow, out bottom and everything, so it looks like carb back off, have another look. Oh, exciting. Next day, this is day 2, 3, 2. I don't know, I'll lose hours in the man cave. So, we've done the carb, I changed the floats. So, Brandon's just come back down, another day. He's took the foot peg off, because last night he kept smashing his toe on it. So, go on then, Brand, give it a fucking... Oh, did that fire? Yeah. Did it fire? Oh. Turn choke on. Is choke on?
Yeah, push it in.
Oh, hey! Would you look at that? Right, turn it off a minute. Right. I know it's smoking a bit, but we did put loads of 2-stroke in. So I'm going to go get some new fresh petrol, fresh oil foot bottom end, and some more 2-stroke, and then we're going to come back and give it a little tickle. Right, fresh petrol, fresh oil. Played with the carb again. Right, have a go, Bran, see if she's Oh, ho, ho. Give it a bit. Ah. Look at that. So now it's a case of how we're going to run it in. I think I'll tell you what, we're just going to put all plastics on, give it another little clean up, and then that should be her, the Kx60. Yes, look at that, it's sparkling, sort of. Job's a good one. Little belter, I love it. Absolutely love it. So yeah, right, job's a good one. Thanks for forgot to say on last bit of video, it was like sort of a rush job sort of thing, because we just wanted to get it done, see if we can get it going. So all the little problems that we had, like changing the carbs and that, and changing the floats, I should have really showed you exactly what I was doing, so you know what goes wrong with it. So the next bike that I get, I promise, I will go through all the little problems and let you see it from scratch, you know what I mean? The raw video, you'll let you see everything, the ins and outs of a monkey's arsehole. I promise you. Right, thanks for watching.